Good morning. Thank you for attending the 2016 Renewal webinar. I'm Judy Coleman, Sales and Marketing Manager and Certified in Flexible Compensation by the Employers Council on Flexible Compensation. ECFC is a national organization dedicated to the advancement of youth and education for consumer-directed pre-tax benefits. Joining me today is Mark Schmerschel, Vice President of BeneFLEX, and he is designated as a Flexible Compensation Specialist and sits on the Board of Directors for ECFC. Brenda Cox is our Operations Manager. Brenda is also certified in Flexible Compensation. And finally with us today is Jamie Raines, our Marketing Manager. For today's presentation, you will be in listen-only mode. If you have any questions, please type them in and we will answer them at the end of the presentation as time permits. If you registered for the webinar prior to today, you should have received a copy of the PowerPoint presentation. As you probably noticed from the agenda, this is not your everyday run-of-the-mill renewal webinar. With the Affordable Care Act and impending Cadillac tax in 2018, we recognized a need in the benefits world for some fact sharing on how the benefit plans that BeneFLEX administers are being impacted by all of the ACA changes. At the same time, it provided us with the perfect opportunity to answer many of the questions you have been asking regarding how the IRS and DOL audits are looking at your plan documents and how BeneFLEX is working on your behalf to keep your plan compliant. We will wrap this timely information around your renewal process, not just the ABCs of renewal, but important ways to grow participation benefiting the employees and your company. Lastly, we are very excited about the survey information we have to share regarding HRAs, the Cadillac tax, and how to communicate with Boomers, Gen X, and Millennials regarding your plans. The first topic on our agenda today is the Department of Labor, DOL, and IRS audits on employee benefit plans. This is something none of us want to think about, but due to the Affordable Care Act, the DOL and IRS are making sure employers are complying with the new health care reform laws. Being selected for a DOL audit can have serious consequences for an employer. According to a DOL audit report for 2014 fiscal year, approximately 5 out of 8 investigations resulted in penalties or required other corrective action. The IRS audits focus on potential issues that will generate additional tax revenue through the assessment of penalties and interest. Audits can be triggered for a variety of reasons. The DOL normally does not disclose the reason for the audit to the employer. Some common triggers of audits may include participant complaints, answers on the Form 5500 filing, and the DOL's national enforcement projects. For example, making sure health plans comply with the ACA mandates. To minimize your risk and be prepared for a DOL or IRS audit, you should respond to your participants' questions and request for information in a timely manner. If you are required to file Form 5500, make sure it is complete and accurate. Distribute participant notices as required by law. For example, the summary of benefits and coverage and the summary plan description. Make sure updates are made to the plan documents and summary plan description to reflect legal and design changes. This is where BeneFLEX works with you. We provide a current plan document for each plan we administer. Many employers do not know the triggers for what requires an amendment to your plan document and SPD. It is important to make sure you understand changes that would require an amendment to your plan document. These changes may include the employer name, so changing the company name or DBA, the federal tax ID number, your address, phone number, whether you're adding or terminating an affiliated company, if you make a change to the plan year, or if you make a change to your benefit plan design. For example, for the FSA, it would include the addition of the $500 carryover, the grace period, or possibly adding an HSA. An HRA is affected by any changes to the group health insurance or the reimbursement under the plan. If any of these changes occur, you need to report them to your account manager at BeneFLEX so your documents can be amended and remain in compliance. Another area we feel needs additional focus is non-discrimination testing. In order to provide tax savings, cafeteria plans must not discriminate in favor of highly compensated and key employees. To make sure this does not happen, Congress came up with some requirements that plans must meet. If a plan does not meet these requirements, then some top employees will have adverse tax consequences. For example, highly compensated employees may have to pay taxes on the amount of their salary reduction. It is recommended that the testing be done close to the end of the plan year to include all new hires and allow time for corrections to be made. The 4 non-discrimination tests are the eligibility test. This test is based on highly compensated versus non-highly compensated employees. The concentration test. This test is based on key employees versus all employees. The dependent care average benefits test. This test is based on highly compensated versus non-highly compensated employees. And finally, the dependent care owner test. This test is based on over 5% owners versus all other employees. Every year upon renewal of your FSA plan, BeneFLEX has provided an Excel file populated with your census. On the far right of the template, there is a request for the employer to provide the non-discrimination information, which is used for testing. The information populated in this section is used to run the non-discrimination testing at the end of the plan year as required by IRS guidelines. BeneFLEX notifies the employer if any of the tests fail. BeneFLEX will be running the non-discrimination test at the end of October. We are going to be sending out an email blast on October 7th reminding our clients of the importance of providing accurate data. The email will allow you to click on a link to request a template to update your employees' information. You will receive an Excel file with all of your employees that are currently participating in the Medical and Dependent Care FSA. You will then update each column with a Y for yes or an N for no as to whether that employee is considered eligible, highly compensated, a key employee, excluded, or an owner. The definitions of these will be included in the instructions. The deadline for submitting this updated information to BeneFLEX will be October 21st. If you feel that you have already provided this information to BeneFLEX and it is up to date, then you do not need to respond. Just remember the accuracy of the test is based on the data in our system. When the President signed the Patient Protection and Affordable Care Act back in 2010, and we heard about the Cadillac tax that wouldn't start until 2018, we all thought that seemed so far away and we would worry about it later. Well, 2018 is just around the corner. Employers have started to make decisions to change their benefits. Employers dealing with unions have started negotiating 3-year contracts, which would include 2018. They are taking a close look at their options to avoid the Cadillac tax. What is the Cadillac tax? It is a 40% excise tax on high-cost employer-sponsored health coverage. The thresholds for high cost are currently $10,200 for single coverage and $27,500 for family coverage. These amounts will be adjusted for the cost of inflation in 2018. The employer will be responsible for calculating the cost of each employee's benefits. Costs will be calculated similar to the way COBRA premiums are calculated. The 40% tax will be paid on the health coverage that exceeds the threshold amount. Depending on the type of insurance plan, either the health insurance carrier or the plan administrator will be responsible for paying the tax. As of now, some types of coverage that will be included in the calculation, the cost of the employee's benefits will be their health insurance, wellness plans if they are considered a group health plan, and contributions to FSAs, HRAs, and HSAs. One way to lower insurance premiums to avoid the Cadillac tax is to purchase consumer-driven health plans or higher deductible health plans. As illustrated in the study from Mercer's National Survey of Employer-Sponsored Health Plans, group insurance plans with higher deductibles will see much lower premiums. Employers can use the savings in premiums to offer a health reimbursement arrangement. An HRA that is integrated with a group health plan can be designed by the employer to reimburse deductible expenses, doctor visit copays, prescription copays, and Section 213 expenses. HRAs integrated with a group health plan may not be used to reimburse individual insurance premiums. Most of the plans BeneFLEX administers are designed to reimburse deductible expenses after the employee has paid the first portion of the deductible. An HRA is only a promise to pay. Only about 15% of the population actually meets their deductible on a traditional health plan. In our experience with most HRAs, the utilization rate is even lower. BeneFLEX has been very involved with the ECFC doing joint lobbying efforts on the Hill in hopes of revising the Cadillac tax. The scoring from the Treasury Department says full repeal of the Cadillac tax is not likely because the tax will help finance the expansion of the Patient Protection and Affordable Care Act. Bills have been introduced to have the amounts contributed to FSAs, HRAs, and HSAs removed from the calculation. As healthcare reform mandates continue to evolve, our clients are looking for alternatives to help keep the cost down for their employees while still offering a quality benefit package. For many years, employers have utilized a health reimbursement arrangement to keep premiums down, as well as help participants pay for some of their out-of-pocket medical expenses. The impending Cadillac tax is driving many employers to revisit the benefits of an HRA. Mercer's national survey shows the reason employers chose to offer an HRA plan, 65% of businesses are looking to lower their benefit costs, and another 15% say they are looking at the HRA to avoid the excise tax. So truthfully, 80% of employers are revisiting the HRA as a way to avoid the possibility of the Cadillac tax. This in addition to 60% of employers seeing an HRA as a way to promote healthcare consumerism, and 36% see it as a way to promote wellness and health management. In the same survey, 74% of all employers felt their objectives were met by offering an HRA plan. To complete the story, goals are met, employers are happy, and 70% of employees had a positive reaction to their HRA plan. These results are based on employers with 500 to 4,999 employees. However, it has been our experience that employers of all sizes benefit from offering HRA plans. Did you know for every dollar your employees contribute to a medical or dependent care FSA, the employer saves 7.65% in FICA taxes? BeneFLEX has provided report cards to many of our clients showing the value to the employer. The report card normally shows that the FICA savings more than outweighs the cost of the administration, and employees are saving 30 cents on every dollar. BeneFLEX would like to share with you some ideas on how to help you grow the participation in your FSA. Is this how your employees feel about open enrollment? Well, fear no more. BeneFLEX has a solution. Implement the FSA $500 carryover and eliminate the fear of use it or lose it. 86% of employees that did not elect the FSA said they did not elect due to the use it or lose it rule. BeneFLEX would like to make sure you are taking advantage of our many resources to help you grow participation in your FSA plans. Employers have found that mandatory educational meetings are a must if you want to grow participation. If you are not educating your employees on the value of the medical and dependent care FSA, they will not participate. First, they have to understand how the account works. how easy it is to use their FSA, and the savings they will experience. Let one of our experienced representatives provide an educational meeting for all of your employees. New this year, we can provide some personalized educational materials for you to distribute to your employees. Make sure your medical FSA allows either the $500 carryover or the grace period. Employees have a fear of the use it or lose it rule associated with the medical FSA. By offering either the $500 carryover or grace period, the fear is gone. BeneFLEX offers several tools to help employees use and track their FSA accounts. They can pay for medical expenses using the Bene MasterCard, easily check their account balance using our interactive voice response system. They may also check account balances, claims history, and submit claims using the employee portal and BeneFLEX HR mobile app. Finally, if you would like to allow your employees to experience an FSA, many employers have used Seed Money. If you give each employee money to start their FSA, they will see how easy it is to use the funds in their account, and this will lead them to making an election of their own. On October 31st, 2013, the IRS issued Notice 2013-71, which allowed employers to offer the $500 carryover option. This is a step in the right direction to start growing your participation. As you can see, the #1 reason employees do not participate in the FSA is because of the fear of use it or lose it. The fear is gone. With the $500 carryover, it allows your participants to carry over up to $500 of unused funds in their medical FSA at the end of each plan year. Participants no longer have to risk losing their unused funds at the end of the plan year. This also does not reduce the amount they can elect for the following year. It is in lieu of the grace period. You cannot offer both the carryover and the grace period. And the $500 carryover is not available for dependent care. BeneFLEX was asked to participate in a national educational webinar with our software provider because we have continued to experience an increase in the number of employers offering the $500 carryover option and have seen an increase in participation. The employer survey results showed that 68.1% of employers adopted the carryover to increase employee participation. 27.6% of employers adopted the carryover because participants' year-end balances were typically lower than $500, so it made sense to give the employees the ability to carry over their funds. 4.3% of employers adopted the carryover because their employees requested it. What are BeneFLEX clients doing? Results as of 2015, nearly 64% of our clients adopted the $500 carryover. Some of our employers have experienced as much as a 50% increase in participation by adopting the $500 carryover. In 2005, 2005-42, allowing employers to extend the date for which medical claims can be incurred for a plan year. Participants are making an election for a 12-month period, but have 14.5 months to spend their money, which lessens the fear of use it or lose it. For a calendar year FSA plan, participants would have until March 15th to continue to incur expenses to use the funds from the previous plan year. BeneFLEX has developed educational materials to help educate your employees on the $500 carryover option and the grace period. These items may be downloaded directly from your renewal questionnaire. Now we are going to take a look at all of the plans that will renew January 1st, 2016 and review the timeline for submitting elections. We are going to walk through the renewal questionnaire and educational materials. We continue to see many employers utilizing the employee or employer online enrollment system. Employers like the educational interactive nature of our employee online enrollment software. We also have many employers that have found the main benefit of employer online enrollment to be the almost instant posting of the FSA funds to the existing participants' Bene cards. For example, if you are running late into December, getting your elections to BeneFLEX, if you enter them through the employer portal, the election should be loaded to the BeneCard within 24 hours. Now, that does not mean that we recommend that you wait until December 31st because of the large volume. This would also require that your renewal paperwork was submitted on time and that your plan has been rolled over and initialized. If you enter a new participant late, they will still have to wait 2 to 3 weeks to receive their BeneCards in the mail, depending on how backed up the card vendor is at this time of the year. This is a list of all of the plan types that renew throughout the year. The flexible spending accounts. With the FSA plan, new elections are required annually. We also would like for you to submit your co-pays each year for your health insurance. The reason why we ask for you to submit the co-pays is it reduces the number of letters that have to be sent to the participants requesting additional documentation for BeneCard swipes. On health reimbursement arrangements, new contribution limits are required annually. If the plan covers dependents, the census must include dependent information. And BeneFLEX also needs a summary of the benefits and coverage from the insurance carrier. On the transportation management accounts, new elections are recommended annually, but the participants actually do not have to make a new election each year. Health savings account, again, new elections would be recommended annually, but they don't have to re-elect under the HSA each year. COBRA and HIPAA administration, BeneFLEX requires new rates annually, and active COBRA participants have the right to make a change to their coverage levels during open enrollment. With the San Francisco HCSO HRA, new participants are added each quarter, and with retiree billing, we require new rates annually. You will receive an email on Monday, October 5th with a link to the renewal questionnaire. We ask that you complete the questionnaire and submit it back to BeneFLEX immediately. BeneFLEX will need to receive your enrollments by December 1st, 2015 to ensure all new participants receive their BeneCards and elections are loaded on their cards by January 1st, 2016. If BeneFLEX receives your elections after December 1st, there may be a delay in new participants receiving their BeneCards. If BeneFLEX receives your elections after December 11th, we cannot guarantee the funds will be available on the BeneCards, and there will be a delay in new participants receiving their cards. This time of the year is very busy for our card vendor. If we do not receive your elections by December 1st, cards may be delayed several weeks. Files received after December 1st are processed in the order they are received. We would also like for you to watch for the 2016 limits, which may affect participant elections for the upcoming year. Based on the 2016 limits, participants may need to adjust their annual elections. BeneFLEX will notify you in a BeneBlast once we receive the cost of living adjustments for 2016. At this time, only the HSA contribution limits have been released. BeneFLEX has been using the questionnaire format for several years to collect the data for a smooth and easy renewal process. For those of you that are new to the process, we are going to quickly go through each section of the questionnaire. We have simplified the process for you by making this a fillable form. Once the form has been completed, you will need to click on the Submit button. If you receive an error when trying to submit, make sure you have answered the 3 required questions under Choose Type of Re-enrollment. Then once you have completed the questionnaire, you will receive a copy of your response by email. So right now we're going to go ahead and walk through filling out the renewal questionnaire. The first part of the questionnaire that you're required to submit is your company contact information. So we would like for you to complete this information. We like to verify that everything that we have on file matches what you've entered on this form. Sometimes employers may forget to notify us of an address change or a phone number change or maybe even a renewal contact. So complete this section. Then the next section will be the broker contact information. We ask that you go through and enter your broker name, the company name for the broker, their email address, phone number, and then also if you can provide us with your health insurance renewal date, we like to keep that on file as well. Next, you will be asked for your plan information. What plans will you be renewing for 2016? So you'll click on those that apply, click Next, and then we're asking if you need to make any changes. Do you want to change your medical FSA election amount? Right now, the IRS maximum is $2,550, and like we had said, we will notify you if that increases. You have the option to change the FSA runout period to submit claims for active employees, the runout period for terminated employees. If you're not currently using the Bene card, you have the option to add the Bene card. And then finally, do you want to add the $500 carryover or the grace period? If you already have the carryover or grace period in place, you do not need to mark those. They will remain in place. But if you are adding it, you'll have to let us know if you want to add it for 2015, because if you amend the plan before the end of the plan year, you could actually allow the amounts for 15 to carry over. If not, you can add it for the next plan year, 2016. Next, we like to verify your pay periods. So you'll enter the types of payroll that you have, and then you're going to enter the date of the first payroll deduction of the new year. And then this is the section where we're asking for you to update your copay information. If you do not have the updated copay information at this time, it can be submitted at a later date. Here, you're going to check that you acknowledge that BeneFLEX needs to receive your elections by December 1st to guarantee the new participants will have their cards, and the cards will be loaded by January 1st. And then how are you going to submit your 2016 enrollment information? Are you going to do employee online? If you're going to do employee online, BeneFLEX needs to know the date you want to begin online enrollment and the date that you want it to end. If you choose employer online, you're just going to need to let us know when you want to begin your online enrollment. And then you have any amount of time that you need to get those elections in for the employer online. With the Excel spreadsheet, BeneFLEX will send you your Excel file with your census, and then you'll just enter the elections right on this spreadsheet. Some of you may have a third-party vendor that provides data feeds to BeneFLEX, so if that is the case, check that box and enter the name of the third-party vendor that we can expect to receive the file from. And then we would like to know if you would like for BeneFLEX to do any educational events. We're available to do group meetings, benefit fairs, webinars, and then enter the dates and times that you would like for BeneFLEX to come out, and we will call you to verify and coordinate those dates. Here's where you're able to request personalized and electronic educational materials. So you'll be able to go on, and we're going to show you some of those personalized materials towards the end of this presentation. You can also go on and view any of our other items that are available. You can print them. Some of our educational materials are also available for us to send them to you. So the printed materials, you'll check the box and enter the number that you will need and enter the date that you would like them by. Please remember that BeneFLEX will need about 5 days to process your request. And then this question is just, would you like someone to contact you regarding your current plan if you have specific questions? Would you the Form 5500? Our sister company, Schmerschel Treloar and Company, does the 5500 filing. So we will pass your information along to them, and someone will contact you to help you with that. And finally, we're asking for your comments. Of course, we like to hear how wonderful BeneFLEX is, but we do take your comments seriously. So please be honest and submit those comments. And then once you hit submit, your questionnaire has been sent to BeneFLEX, and you will also receive a copy of your response by email. Okay? Once BeneFLEX has received your renewal questionnaire, we will send you a census based on your response. The format of the file may not be changed. If you change the format, you run the risk of errors and delays in processing. If you have chosen to do employee online enrollment, we will need you to update your census to include all eligible employees, their non-discrimination information, and return it to BeneFLEX in a secure email. We will need your census 2 weeks prior to online enrollment, so everyone will be in the system. If you opt for employer online enrollment, employers will enter the participants' elections in the employer portal. The employer portal may also, the employer may also add employees and update their status of employees through the employer portal. The final option is an Excel spreadsheet. The employer will update the participants' demographic information, enter their elections, and non-discrimination information. They will return the completed file to BeneFLEX in a secure email. With all three options, the employer will receive a weekly enrollment report by email. This report also remains available on the employer portal, and at any time the employer may also run this report from the employer portal. Receiving the information in an electronic format reduces errors in trying to read handwritten forms. If you choose either employee or employer online enrollment, BeneFLEX has tutorials available to walk you through the process. We are going to take a few minutes to log into the employee and employer portal to show you how easy they are to use. First, we are going to log into the employer portal, and we're going to show you how easy it is for you to enter an election for one of your employees. So if you click on employees, you can search for an employee by typing in their last name or their first name. You can view a list of all of your employees, or you can click on a recently viewed employee. So we're going to enter an enrollment for Jacob Doe. We're going to click on the Enrollments tab, and then we're going to click on Add Enrollment. You will see the 2016 plan year is listed. We're going to go under Medical FSA and click Enroll. And we're going to scroll down. We're going to put in the effective date as 1/1/2016. We're going to enter the annual election for Jacob. We're going to go down and click on Add Enrollment. And then you get a little pop-up that says you have successfully enrolled the employee in the following plan. So then you will know that your enrollment was added. If Jacob had elected a dependent care account, you would go in and click the Enroll and enter their dependent care election. So that is how easy it is to actually go in under the employer portal and enter your employees' elections for 2016. Then you're going to log out, and now we're going to log into the employee portal as an employee. And we're going to show you how it looks for one of your employees to do employee online enrollment. So once your employees log in to the portal, they're going to see its annual enrollment time, and then they'll just click on Enroll Now. The first screen that pops up will be the plans that you as the employer are offering. So if you're only offering medical and dependent care, those are the only plan details or plan descriptions that will be listed. So the employee has the option here to read about each of the plans they are being offered. They'll scroll to the top and click Begin Your Enrollment Now. They're asked to verify their participant profile information, so they may go through and update any of this information. They'll click Continue. Then they are asked to read and review each of the accounts that they're offered. They do have to click that they've read and understand each of the benefits that are being offered to them. Once they've clicked on those, they'll continue. They'll go in and enter their annual election. So Joe is going to elect $2,000 for the medical FSA. He clicks Calculate, and it'll show that his election for the year is $2,000. The total savings for the year at a 30% tax rate is $600 that he's saving, and his estimated per pay period deduction will be $83.33. At this point, they click Continue. Their primary reimbursement is the debit card. At this point, they choose their alternative reimbursement method, which either is a check or direct deposit. So we're going to click check there. And then Joe is asked to verify all of the information, and at any point he can go back and edit any of the information. He can go back and change his election up until the end of the open enrollment period that you've set in place. Once he's confident in his election, he'll hit Submit, and he'll get a confirmation here. It reminds them to print this page for their records, and then they've completed their online enrollment. And like I said, they can go back at any time during your open enrollment period and update that election. So it's very quick and very easy for employees to do their enrollment online, and it's very easy for the employer to enter the elections online as well. Empower your employees with the knowledge of the Medical and Dependent Care FSA. BeneFLEX has educational materials available that you can download or request printed materials from the renewal questionnaire. Downloaded materials may be shared with your employees via email, intranet, and social media sites. For printed materials, please remember to allow 5 business days for BeneFLEX to prepare those and get those out in the mail to you. We also encourage mandatory educational meetings. Educational meetings help grow employee participation and increase employee knowledge of how to properly use their benefits. Some of the educational materials that we have available to be downloaded or requested directly from the renewal questionnaire: the FSA enrollment brochure, posters, the eligible expenses list, receipt reminder envelopes, participant letters, what $500 in an FSA can buy for you, and there are a few of our items that are available in Spanish. In support of growing your participation, BeneFLEX has developed personalized FSA educational materials based on a study done by Visa. As you can see, each generation perceives the FSA differently. For example, there is a large difference between the millennials, who believe they will never use up all of the funds in their FSA, and the boomers, who feel confident they will use all of their election. For instance, did you know that the Fitbit with a heart rate monitor is a qualified medical expense? If you want to target those young millennials and show them how easily they can spend $500 in an FSA, this is an educational piece you could use. This piece was developed to help millennials better understand how the FSA is a tool to save tax dollars on the items they are already purchasing. We have also developed personalized educational materials to help grow your participation by targeting your specific audience. Our personalized coupon may be shared on your intranet and or social media sites. This will include your meeting times and dates. We have also available videos that can be personalized with your company logo, open enrollment dates, open enrollment meeting times and dates, and also the $500 carryover or grace period information. Now we're going to take a minute and click on one of the videos and show you what it looks like. And this would be available personalized.
Their plan to fall back on is reassuring, but when expenses that aren't covered by your health plan add up quickly, it knocks your comfort level down a few notches. With a flexible spending account, out-of-pocket healthcare expenses are covered with pre-tax dollars. That means what you contribute to your FSA is reduced from your taxable income, giving you a significant tax break. And an FSA doesn't just cover out-of-pocket healthcare expenses either. You can put money aside for daycare expenses with a dependent care FSA. So you're covered on all angles beyond healthcare. And because it's all with pre-tax dollars, you're saving yourself a pretty penny. With an FSA, your funds are available 24/7, giving you the luxury of accessing your account information, transactions, and contributions online with our mobile app or with your prepaid benefits card. For more information on signing up for your flexible spending account, contact your HR provider today.
Okay, so from the renewal questionnaire, you're able to request these personalized videos. Now we're going to take a quick look at the mobile app and review some recent enhancements that are now available. In the newest release of the mobile app, they allowed the employee to start submitting medical, dependent care, and transportation management claims through the mobile app. Participants are able to view account balances and claims history, track their health care expenses, view messages, report their Bene cards as lost or stolen, and they can even contact BeneFLEX right from the mobile app. And our survey says, thank you to all of our employers and brokers that took the time to respond to our survey. We take the results and comments provided in the survey seriously. BeneFLEX strives to be a good partner. A little over 2 years ago, BeneFLEX listened to employers that said employees were looking for easier ways to submit claims. We migrated to new software with an enhanced employer and employee portal and a mobile app. In our recent survey, employers have expressed that they would like the renewal questionnaire to be populated with all of their data. BeneFLEX is in the process of implementing a customer relationship management tool, a CRM. This will help us to easily access information about each of our clients and the services we provide to you. Next year, the questionnaire you receive will be populated with your company's plan details. You will only need to update the changes that you wish to make. Here are some important reminders. We want for you to watch for the email regarding the non-discrimination testing. This will be sent out on Wednesday, October 7th. This is your chance to make sure BeneFLEX has the accurate data before running the test for your FSA plan for 2015. Many of our clients are moving their group health insurance renewal date to October 1st to avoid ACA mandates. If BeneFLEX does your HRA or COBRA administration, then you must contact us to update your plan and rates. For all clients with a January 1st renewal, the deadline for submitting enrollments to BeneFLEX will be December 1st, 2015 to guarantee that new participants will have their cards and the cards will be loaded by January 1st. Our standard claims processing will remain the same. The weekly submission deadline for HRA claims is Monday at 3 o'clock Central Standard Time, 1 o'clock Pacific Time. The weekly submission deadline for FSA and TMA claims is Tuesday at 3 o'clock Central Standard Time, 1 o'clock Pacific Time. Weekly processing of claims is on Thursday. Checks are mailed on Friday with the exception of holidays and severe weather-related incidents. It's hard to believe the holidays are right around the corner. We would also like to remind you of the processing schedules for the holidays. For Thanksgiving, BeneFLEX will be closed on Thursday, November 26th and Friday, November 27th. The claims deadline for all claims will be Friday, November 20th at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time, 1 p.m. Pacific Time. Claims will be processed on Wednesday, November 25th. BeneFLEX will be closed on Thursday, December 24th and Friday, December 25th for Christmas. The claims deadline for all claims will again be on the Friday before, which is December 18th at 3 o'clock Central Standard Time, 1 o'clock Pacific Time. Claims processing will be done on Wednesday, December 23rd that week. For New Year's, BeneFLEX will be closed on Friday, January 1st. There will be no adjustment to the standard claims processing schedule, so they may submit on the normal schedule. This information will be emailed to the clients to distribute to their employees and will also be posted on our website. Okay, at this time, if you have any questions, please go ahead and submit those, and we'll get to as many of those as we can. Okay, the first question, what happens if the $2,550 IRS limit is increased after I submit my renewal questionnaire? If the IRS increases the limit for the medical FSA, BeneFLEX will send out an email blast to all of our clients letting them know that the limit has increased, and there will be instructions for you on how you will be able to increase that for the 2016 plan year. Can I add multiple dates and times for educational meetings? How do I tell you only one meeting is needed and not multiple ones? You will just, when you do your renewal questionnaire, you'll click on what type of meeting you would like, and you can either enter one date or you can enter multiple dates in that section. Again, BeneFLEX, their representative will call you to verify and coordinate the meetings with you. If the employer is using employee online enrollment, how does the employer get the information for payroll deductions? Once the online enrollment has ended, the employer will begin receiving a weekly enrollment report via email. This report is also going to be available on the employer portal, and at any time the employer can go in and actually request this report on their own from the employer portal. The next question, do forms 1094 and 1095 apply to HRAs? Do we have to complete these forms for our HRA?
The 1094 form has been given relief just recently from the IRS. There was a notice that came out that gave all 1094 in regard to the HRAs relief. We are still waiting on 1095. I checked just recently again with the Employers Council on Flexible Compensation, and their compliance team said they're still hoping for some relief for the 1095, but 1094 has been given relief for the HRA. The other question that I see is, do we have training documents for employees that explain how the HRA works? The form they see online looks more for the employer. And when you work with BeneFLEX, what we do is not only do we provide a training form that will show the employees how the HRA flows, we personalize your HRA plan on the claim form itself so that, one, on the back of the form, it shows them how the HRA works and how they get reimbursed, and two, they would use the front of that form to submit a claim so that they can get reimbursed with the HRA. Let me see if there's another question there. Is a prescription required for the Fitbit with heart rate monitor to be FSA eligible?
Okay, actually you will not need a prescription from the doctor or a letter of medical necessity. A heart rate monitor is considered an eligible expense under the medical FSA. BeneFLEX has worked closely to monitor this new reimbursement. When Mark was out at the ECFC conference in August, he also talked with the IRS about the guidance that BeneFLEX came up with. So we did a lot of research on heart rate monitors, and the average heart rate monitor is about $165. So if a participant goes out and purchases a Fitbit, BeneFLEX will reimburse up to $165 on a Fitbit that contains a heart rate monitor. So any of these tracking devices have to contain a heart rate monitor in order to be eligible under the medical FSA. Okay. Well, it looks like we've answered all of the questions. So at this time, we would like to thank you for your time today, and we appreciate your business. Thank you.